Hey folks, welcome back. So I've got some mail today. Got two kits today. Both of them came from eBay. One of them is a little unique. The other is a little less so, but still pretty interesting. Very interesting, I think. And I would just like to share them with you. So these two kits I've bought tell a story. Both of them are snapshots in history, and they're kind of reflective of the country in general. So this first one here, you can see in front of you, this is a kit by the Ideal Model Company. I believe their full name was Ideal Model Airplane Company, out of New York City. And this is from 1941. This is a kit of the North Carolina class battleship 1508. Now, the North Carolinas were commissioned in 1941 before Pearl Harbor. And actually, Washington was commissioned first, but North Carolina was authorized first, so that was the name of the class. And this kit is kind of sort of representative of the class as designed and as built. The one that everyone thinks of today, the Trumpeter 1-350 kit, shows North Carolina in 1944. So it's got all of it's got upgrades from its various yard periods and whatnot. But this kit is pretty accurate, besides a few things to how the class was designed and commissioned. And being that they were commissioned pre-war, they wore the same Measure 1 camouflage that the Pearl Harbor battleships wore, with the gray superstructure and the white fighting tops. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. Like I said, this kit is from 1941, and it is the first kit ever put out of a North Carolina class fast battleship. I've been through this one. I've inventoried it. I had shot this whole video earlier today. I unwrapped them from the mail and everything, but I just wasn't happy with it, so this is take two. But here is the hull, right off the bat. And it is 18 inches long. So this scales out to about 1:550, I believe, somewhere around there. It's kind of a particle board substance that's been shaped. It's heavy and it's firm. It's taken a hit on the bow there, but that can be fixed. And then there is a crack in the stern here, but that can also be fixed. You can just see where it's worn. And whatever is on it, you can see it's shiny right there. Whatever's on it is sticky. Probably the oil's coming out, or the binder, or whatever. But there is the hull of the battleship. Like I said, this is pre-plastic kits, at least in this country. The first plastic kits came out about 1938. They were made by the Frog Company. They were called Penguins, but they were in the UK then, and they were acetate kits. But this is pretty much model building in 1941. We have a sheet of balsa here. It's printed with various decks, and these are the on the hull for the propellers. I forget what they're called, but they form the tunnel. We have a thicker sheet here that's got various superstructure decks, ship's boats, directors, and you can see it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Skegs, that's what I was thinking of. There's the skegs on the bottom of the hull. Here is the turrets, and here's your 5-inch mounts, all 10 of them. These two are what you shake the funnel out of, and then this is the rear director tower for the 16-inch turrets, and then this disc here is for number 2 turrets because it is super firing. I have a bundle of just balsa stock and dowels and just strips. It's probably an original rubber band too, I'd say. And then here is your main sheet of your deck. Your inboard skegs, I believe. The tops of the funnels. There's your rudder. Aircraft catapults. These are the actual mounts for the 5-inch. You can see it's wearing off. Yeah, there's that. And then we have a small package here. I've had to tape it up, but you get 4, I believe it's pewter screws, 2 anchors, and then there's a square piece of stock in there. And then finally I have the plans. These are pretty cool. Let me move the box out of the way here. In the hull, and we'll lay this out here. One-sided plans. Oop, I just tore it. That's okay. Nothing a little Scotch tape can't fix. Okay, so here's plans. You can see where you here's the aft fire control tower. You can see where you shape it. And, well, it gives you your construction, your part numbers. There's how you shape the funnels out of those blocks of balsa. There's a deck plan. This is to scale, by the way. Relatively, anyway. By the time you get it, you got it shaped down, it would be. But it is to scale. So that's very good. Your hull supports for your deck, and then it just gives you a perspective and a side elevation shot here. Shows you how to make your searchlights, foghorn, ship's bell. Gives you a front view, your boat and aircraft cranes, and then your aft view here. And then it's got a parts list, and written instructions. And there's painting. So here on the hull, the end of hull paragraph, paint the hull below the waterline red and gray above. On the decks, it's quotes, all deck surfaces are orange shellac, whatever that means. The deck unit sides are gray. So yeah, that's in 1941. This was model building, you know. You have a starting point, and you have to dig a kit out of it, pretty much. It even shows you. So those parts here that look like the Nike symbol, the Nike swoosh. You sandwich them together and you shape it and make the bulbous bow that's on the class. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this was a state-of-the-art model building in 1941. And I'm very glad to have it. I've seen one other one, and it was on the Old Model Kits store website. I got this one off of eBay from a private seller. But yeah, I'm very, very glad to have it. I just think when they were commissioned and put on, when they were in their sea trials, the North Carolina class just looked so sleek. You know, by the end of the war, all of the U.S., pretty much any U.S. vessel that had empty deck space had a 40mm gun or 20mm gun slapped on it. So you can really see the pre-war design in here. Okay, so I am going to reset the table here, and we're going to look at the second kit. Okay, so the second kit here, this is by Monogram, actually, one of the most famous model companies. This kit is from 1946. So in 1946, Jack Besser and Bob Reeder, who had worked at Hawk, I think, either Hawk or Comet, one of those two companies, got together and they had a workshop that had plywood drafting table and balsa wood stacked up, and they decided to get into the model business. And their first three kits were a landing ship tank, an LST, a destroyer, and a heavy cruiser. And those were numbers B1, 2, and 3 in 1946. And this is the fourth kit. This is B4 by Monogram Models, Battleship USS Missouri. And oh, by the way, I'm not that smart. I've got the book right here. Yes, as if the North Carolina kit was analogous to pre-war United States, you know, you get some parts and the plans. You really have to extract a model from that. This is really a leap ahead. Of course, this is immediately post-war, and the North Carolina, of course, the first U.S. fast battleship, and the Missouri is the last. Last launched and the last commissioned. Even though Wisconsin is numbered higher, Missouri was commissioned after. So, but let's go ahead and open it up. This one's mostly complete. I mean, the parts that are missing can replace right now if I wanted to. Monogram model, Chicago, copyright 1946, made in USA. And there's the original first logo. And it's the same on the other side. I got this off of eBay. This is from seller Leon's Toy Emporium. So I'll let you read that there. And this, I ordered this Friday. Today is Monday, so it came pretty quick. And I think it came from the West Coast. But, so here's the hull. This is a balsa hull. Very lightweight. They give you the top view, and they give you the side. And you've really got to, you see someone started. You've got to extract your kit out of there, but this would be much easier to work with, being balsa, than that North Carolina hull. For comparison, of course, this is a much smaller scale. The Iowa class was the longest battleship ever built, so I would say this is 1,550 around there. I'd say this is 1,650 maybe, if I were to guess. I don't know. I would have to do the math. So it's still got the sandpaper in it. That's a good piece of sandpaper too. That would last a while. And you know, you can see parts there. So here is the 3/16 inch sheet. You got your 16-inch turrets and your 5-inch mounts. Here is your 3/32 sheet. Someone's tried to have a go at that. You got your Seahawks. Your mounting ring for your 16-inch turrets. Other stuff. Here is your 5/32 sheet. And it's got your superstructure and whatnot on it. Very nice. This is a 16th sheet. Got your skegs. Should have 2. Bridge parts. 16-inch gun mount. Other stuff. And then you've just got loose bits, so you got a piece of dowel. Well, this is square stock, this isn't dowel. I've got a piece of wire for various things. You have a piece of cardstock with other things. So these are your hull templates. Your crane, this part that's missing has been included. And it is the flight surfaces for the planes. Decals here. You got your national flag, your naval ensign. These are the windows for the bridge, and I believe that's the kill board. It goes on the side of the conning tower there. I believe that's what that is. And then you've got various blocks. So I believe these two are for the funnel, and of course the front funnel is a part of the superstructure. So it'll be like that. And then this is your super firing ring for number 2 16-inch turret. And then you have 2 of these identical square pieces. I forget what those are for. Piece of thicker raw dowel and a piece of thinner dowel. Not very much of it, but if you need more, I mean, you can buy dowel rod at Walmart. And then toothpicks. These are actually called toothpicks in the book, and on the plans. These are for the 16-inch rifles. I've only got 5 of them, but I have a whole box of toothpicks over there, so that's easy to replace. Okay, now we will look at the plans here. Get this out of the way. And just kind of move stuff over here. So these plans are a little more intuitive, I believe. They are to scale. And we'll just start up here. So up here in the top right, it gives you a ship's history. And it shows Missouri in her Measure 32 camouflage. And let me move the camera over so I can reach. Tells you how to carve the hull out. And then they've got this bear mascot. I wonder if that's Reader or Besser. But it tells you how to make the superstructure. And then it says, now make the 3 large turrets, 10 smaller turrets, and the other fittings. So all of this afterwards. Shows you how to make the table that the instrument of surrender was signed on. It was actually just a mess table that someone had grabbed. They had a big mahogany, well, it wasn't big. They had a mahogany table that had been given to them by some British admiral, I believe. And they were going to use it. Beautiful table, apparently. And the instrument of the actual document showed up, and it was too big for the table. It wouldn't fit on the table. So someone went and grabbed a mess table because breakfast had just ended, and a green tablecloth, and that's what was used. It said that the tablecloth had coffee and egg stains on it, and that's the table that the Second World War ended on. But yeah, and this it says here, this is an unretouched photo of a monogram model right here. So that's pretty good. For the 20 millimeters, it says to use wire for the guns. And pins. The North Carolina kit wants you to make all of the capstans with pins, which I think is interesting. And also, you can see pins here. And these are to scale here, so... Yep. Just about right. So, that's really the beginning and the end of U.S. fast battleships, and really just 2 snapshots of the beginning of the war, pre-war for the United States, and immediately post-war, as far as kit design goes and everything. Now these Missouri kits, they're actually pretty plentiful. The book cites them as $75 to $100. That's actually a little high. I got this on eBay, and there were 4 or 5 others on there for around $50, $60. So if that's something that interests you, if you want to give it a go, I mean, they're not particularly rare. And yeah, go for it. I actually do plan on building this. It may rub some people the wrong way, but I actually plan on building both of them eventually. But of the two, I would do this one first, before I did the North Carolina. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts. If you've ever, I don't know, there might be someone who's built one of these, maybe not, but if you have, let us know. If not, would you consider buying one and building one? This is definitely not plastic modeling. This is something quite different. Closest I've come to this is I've built a Guilo's Piper Super Cub, but that's about it. And it crashed on its maiden voyage, so that tells you all you need to know about that. But this is really something different, something else. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping. So Wednesday at about 8 p.m. Central Time, Modeling with the Mats live streams. Come enjoy and hang out and chat in the chat and everything. And excuse me. Saturday, September 25th, I have the pleasure of joining the Maxis Models live stream, and that's at 6 p.m. Central Time, just 2300 Zulu, I believe. Very, very excited about that, and of course, Modeling with Mats, excited about that too. And yeah, so come enjoy the streams. Would you build either of these? Let me know what you think. So thanks for watching, and take care.